Tooth formation standards. Events in the formation of human dentition are based primarily on the data from studies of dissected prenatal anatomical material and from radiographic imaging of the teeth of the same individuals over time. That is, longitudinal data are of different individuals of different ages seen once, that is cross sectional data, or of different individuals of different ages are seen once, that is cross sectional data. From these types of studies, that is from longitudinal data study and from cross sectional data study, both descriptive information and chronological data may be obtained. To assemble a complete description or chronology of human tooth formation, to assemble a complete description or chronology of human tooth formation, it would seem necessary to use data based on more than one ideal tooth formation standards from studies that examine different variables and use many different statistical methods. Participants surveyed in most studies of dental development are essentially of European derivation, and population differences can only be established by studies that share methodology and information on tooth formation in populations of non-white or non-European ancestry. Chronologies of human dentition. The history of chronological studies demonstrates the difficulty in obtaining adequate documentation of the source of the data being presented. Many early tables and charts disagreed on the timing of chronological events. More precise information to avoid injury to developing teeth during surgery on young children, especially related to the repair of cleft palate. More precise information was needed to avoid injury to developing teeth during surgery on young children, especially related to the repair of cleft palate. One of the earliest of the widely used tables was that of Kronfeld. Kronfeld's table was partly reprinted and altered by Schauer and Massler, and has a long history of subsequent development and compilations. Table 2.3 is an expanded and revised version that reflects the accumulated history of chronologies of tooth formation of Table 2.4. Right, let's have a look over Table 2.3. This is the chronology of human dentition. Right, this is the latter table 2.4 is the latter table, that is table 2.4 is the most often reprinted version of Kronfeld's chronology. This is the modified table of human dentition. Even table 2.3 and related chronologies have some deficiencies in sampling and collection methods sufficient to prevent acceptance of chronologies that are not considered an ideal for standards of normal growth. The suggestions for revision made by Lunt and Law in their modification of the calcification and eruption sequence in their modification of the calcification and eruption schedules of the primary dentition. You can see the table 2.4. The calcification and eruption sequence or schedules of primary dentition have been incorporated into Logan and Kronfeld's chronology shown in table 2.5. The problems associated with revising a table completely or plugging in revised data is apparent when it becomes necessary to make critical choices from among available sources as illustrated in table 2.5 and 2.6 by Smith. This is the table 2.5 is the available values for prenatal formation of primary teeth. Table 2.6 is not given here, right? Is the table 2.6 ages for postnatal development of mandibular deciduous teeth expressed in decimal values. Types of chronologies. Chronologies of dental development reflect the use of different statistical methods to produce three different types of tooth formation data. To produce three different types of tooth formation data, that is 1. Age of attainment chronologies based on tooth emergence, age prediction chronologies based on being in a stage, and maturity assessment scales used to assess whether an individual of known age is in front of or behind with a reference population. Stages of tooth formation. Radiographic studies of tooth formation have used at least three stages, that is, beginning calcification, crown completion, and root completion. Very important. Nolla expanded the number of stages to 11, important bit, and Glacier and Hunt to 13, which has served as the basis for several studies, including that of Maurice et al., who defined 14 stages of permanent tooth formation. You can see the figure 2.20. Stages of tooth formation. Figure 2.20. Stages of permanent tooth formation. See text for definition of abbreviations. Right? This is according to 14 stages, according to the Maurice et al. Right? The 14 stages are not numbered but are designated by abbreviations. C is equal to the cusp and CR is equal to the crown, R is equal to the root, and CL is equal to the cleft, A for apex, and subscripts. I indicates initiated, CO is indicated who listens, and OC is equal to outline complete, and C is equal to complete. Maurice et al. Studied the development of mandibular canines and provided normative data. Age of attainment. Age of attainment Chronology. Age of attainment chronology, which is based on the tooth emergence. The age of attainment of a growth stage is not easily determined because, in a proportion of cases observed, the attainment of the stage has not occurred, and in others, the stage is over. Several procedures to answer the question of when a growth stage did occur have been used to construct chronologies of tooth formation, but many of these methods lead to chronologies that are not comparable for various reasons, including the problem of having fundamentally different underlying variables. Thus, the major statistical methods used to construct different statistically based chronologies of tooth formation relate to fundamentally different variables and should be used for different purposes. Such tables attempt to answer when the event usually happens, that is, at what age does the transition into the stage occur. Age of attainment chronologies may be produced by cumulative distributive functions or probit analysis, and by the average of age at first appearance less one half interval between examinations. Cumulative distributive functions, which have been used by a number of investigators, for example Gorn et al., Demirdjian and Levitsky, appear to be the best method of determining the age of attainment. An example of this type of chronology is a schedule of tooth emergence as illustrated in figure 2.21. This is the figure 2. Where is the figure 2.21? Age of attainment of growth stage using a cumulative distribution function in which data represent tooth emergence. Cumulative distribution function using this method is the best method in determining the age of attainment. Right? In figure 2.21, where the proportion of individuals who have attained a particular stage is plotted against the midpoint of each age group, a chronology of age of attainment of tooth formation for females is shown as an example of this type of chronology in table 2.7. In table 2.7. This is the table 2.7 showing the mean age of attainment of developmental stage for females for permanent mandibular teeth. Age of attainment schedules are useful clinically when it is necessary to avoid damage to developing teeth during treatment. Age prediction chronologies. Chronologies of tooth formation based on the average age of the individuals in a stage of development have been suggested by several investigators. Although these kinds of chronologies are better suited for age prediction than age of attainment, no chronology is ideal for this purpose, and an alternative strategy suggested by Goldstein has been used by Smith to calculate age prediction tables for mandibular tooth formation. Tables for tables for predicting age in females are presented in Table 2.8. Such a table is useful to find out the average to find out the age of the individual. In this schedule, each tooth is assessed independently and the mean of all available ages is assigned as the dental age. Table 2.8. In Table 2.8, the age related to a stage reflects the midpoint between mean age of attainment of the current stage and the next one. Age prediction chronologies are used for assessing unknown ages of patients and for forensic and anthropological applications. This is the table 2.8 values for predicting age from stages of permanent mandibular tooth. See, the developmental stage is given in the left side and the corresponding ages is given for different teeth on the respective sides. Right? CI means cusp initiated, CO means cusp collision, C means cusp outline completed, CR half means crown half completed, CR 3 by 4th means crown 3 by 4th completed, CRC means crown completed, RI means root initiated, and CLI means cleft initiated, and R 1 by 4 means root 1 by 4th completed, R 1 by 2 means crown 1 by 2 half completed, R 2 by 3 means root 2 by 2/3 completed, R 3 by 4 means root 3 by 4th completed, RC means root completed, A half means apex half completed, AC means apex completed. C right. And maturity assessment scales. Chronologies of maturity assessment or maturity assessment chronologies have been based on mean stage for age, where stages rather than participant ages are averaged. However, to avoid problems associated with the calculation of mean age or mean stage, maturity scales have been designed by several investigators, including Wolanski, Demirjian et al., Healy and Goldstein, and Nystrom et al. Such scales are useful when the maturity is assessed for persons of known age but are not designed for anthropological or for forensic applications. Duration of formation. Duration of root and crown formation. The onset and duration of crown and root formation of the primary dentition are illustrated in Table 2.9, which answers questions about the interrelationship between the onset and completion of tooth formation from start to finish. This is the Table 2.9 primary crown and root formation, onset and duration for mandibular deciduous dentition, crown formation start to finish, and root length growth start to finish, tooth emergence, root apex closure. Summary of chronologies compared with older descriptive chronologies based on dissection and those based on radiological plus statistical methods. to produce developmental data, newer methods to avoid attributing discrepancies to uh, uh, population differences because of meteorological or sampling effects. The data in Table 2.7 and Table 2.8 have been recommended for deciduous tooth development. Cumulative distribution functions and probit analysis are recommended for generating statistical solutions for schedules of age of attainment of growth stages. Have a discussion. Clinicians can use chronologies to avoid treatment that can damage developing teeth by using attainment schedules to assess unknown age of patient, for example, age prediction in forensics, demographics, and to assess growth by using maturity, right? Now let's have a discussion over sequence of eruption of deciduous teeth. The sequence of eruption of the primary teeth does show some variation. Such timing is a result in large part of heredity, only somewhat of environmental factors. Such timing is a result in a large part of heredity and only somewhat of environmental factors. Jaw reversals in eruption of canines and first molars have been found to be important in increasing the variety of sequences. Jaw reversals in eruption of canines and first molars have been found to be important in increasing the variety of sequences. When differences according to the jaws are considered, Lunt and Law conclude that the lateral incisor, first molar, and canine tend to erupt earlier in the maxilla than in the mandible. Sato and Ogiwara found the following characteristic order in about one-third of their sample of children. We can see the sequence. First, low mandibular central incisor, followed by maxillary central incisor, maxillary lateral incisor, followed by mandibular lateral incisor, followed by maxillary first molar, followed by mandibular first molar, followed by maxillary canine, followed by mandibular canine, followed by mandibular second molar, followed by maxillary second molar. However, this arrangement of mean ages of eruption to yield a mean order of eruption was found to occur only in a small percentage of participants in the study by Lysell et al. The sequence and age of eruption of primary teeth are illustrated in Table 2.10. This is the Table 2.10. The sequence and age of attainment, not age of eruption of primary teeth. First, maxillary central incisor. Next, mandibular central incisor. Then, maxillary lateral incisor. Then, mandibular lateral incisor and maxillary and mandibular first molars erupt at the same time, and then maxillary and mandibular canines erupt at the same time, then maxillary, then mandibular and maxillary. Second, molars erupt at the blast. Now let's talk about the estimating the